When I conducted my notational analysis, I decided to focus on one more and one less experienced player of the sport. I also decided to compare both athletes up to the group average of what they are achieving. The two people I have decided to focus on are Josh and Ewan. For the first three graphs, I have focused on the more attacking side of the game, with three different types of shots I looked at within the game, being 2-pointers, 3-pointers and layups. For 2-point shots, as you can see, with Ewan being the more experienced player, he naturally has scored more than Josh and is also way above the group average. Ewan has also got a lower chance of missing, having only missed one 2-point shot and the group average hitting out 1.5 misses per player, showing me as a biomechanist that Ewan is well above the standard of his group. On the other hand, Josh has attempted more shots than Ewan, but has only scored one of those 8 shots. This is lower than the group average, having scored 2-pointers, with it being 1.5 2-point shots per player. For 3-point shots, it's sort of the same story. Ewan has more experience and has over triple the group average of 3-point shots, with the group average only being 0.75 scored per player, and on the average, players only missing 2.5 shots from the 3-point line, whereas Ewan missed 1. This means that statistically Ewan has a higher missing percentage on 3-point shots than the group average, but is also not the case, as many players did not decide to shoot from the 3-point line, which alters the results and not give us a clear representation of the data. However, Josh took 3 3-point shots and missed all 3 of them. Then again, showing his inexperience in the game and also how notational analysis is being useful, allowing Josh to see how he needs to improve. The final shot type is layups, and this is where the results change from the norm of the other two graphs. Whereas Ewan has got a lot higher than the class average, has scored 2, with the group average for only being 0.6 per player. Josh also has gotten a higher than the group average for layups. However, Josh has drastically higher chance of missing his shots, only scoring 33% of his layups, where Ewan scored 66%, which is double as efficient as Josh. Onto the defensive side of the data, where this is an anomaly in the research. Ewan is the more experienced player, but only has just above the group average of defensive rebounds, whereas Josh, who is a near beginner, has over triple the amount of defensive rebounds than the group average. This might be because of the height difference between the players. As Ewan is only 177 centimetres, he isn't very well suited to out-jumping or reaching opponents for the ball, whereas Josh is 188 centimetres, a whole 11 centimetres taller, making him much more suitable and capable naturally at jumping and reaching higher, allowing for him to perform so well in this area of the court. There is also a correlation between height and defensive rebounds, with it being the taller you are, the more defensive rebounds you can make, and this fits into that rule. Finally, there are steals versus turnovers. This represents how many times a player gives the ball away, being turnovers, and how many times a player wins possession back, being steals. This, however, reverts back to the natural way of the more experienced player having better stats than the less experienced player. Ewan is shown to have stolen the ball, winning possession 6 times in the game, and only giving the ball away once, whereas Josh wins the ball back twice, but manages to give it away 4 times. However, Josh still has a higher stealing average than the group mean, but also gives the ball away more times than the group. In conclusion, this research shows through notational analysis that Josh may be doing some good for the sake of his team. He is also managing to be off target or lose possession more than the rest of the group, but he is also a key asset to the defensive side of play, as he beat out the more experienced players the most defensive rebounds. This ends up with a list of things Josh should try and work at to improve on and try and become a more efficient player with the ball and an overall better basketball player.